So joining me now is Matt from Leeds-based band Caskets. How are you doing, Matt?
I'm good, mate. Thank you. How are you? You all right?
Yeah, finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
So just tell us a bit how the band started first.
Yeah, so basically Chris and Benji were in a band beforehand called Fault Lines, I think it were. And that sort of like fizzled out eventually. Like they launched, released a really good single and stuff like that, and then the singer just decided to leave. So I auditioned for the part and then got the part, but then like the drummer left as well. So it was like we might as well just start again, rebrand, write new songs and stuff like that. So that's basically sort of how the band started, and then later on, about a week before we went in to track the EP, we still didn't have a drummer. So we asked the producer who was doing the EP, Andy, if he was like, we need the best drummer that you know from around this area, and he needs to be in this band. So he was like, yeah, I know this guy called James, and so yeah, James come and audition, and he got part straight away.
So I believe you've undergone a name change as well fairly recently.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I think it's probably about a year ago now, when it all started. But basically, there was we were called Captives, and there was, unbeknownst to us, there was another band called Captives in Australia. So they decided to just put a trademark on the name, but only in the UK. Did not bother doing it in Australia or anywhere else in the world. But then as soon as that went through, they immediately sent us a cease and desist, and they was getting our, we had to destroy all our merch, change our name, get rid of all our social medias and stuff like that. And we were gonna fight it, but then eventually, like, all our stuff would just going away. Like, our songs went off Spotify and stuff were going off YouTube and stuff like that. So we thought, instead of fighting it and probably disappearing as a band for God knows how long to get it sorted, and lose the momentum that we'd gained, we just thought, we'll just take, just change the names and pray for the best. But our fans were amazing. Yeah, our fans were amazing. So yeah, it was. I think it was a good experience to go through, like being new to like in the industry and stuff like that. I learned a lot from it. But yeah, it was a pretty sucky time. But yeah, it is what it is. Do you know what I mean?
So musical influences. So what is your personal sort of musical influences first?
So it'd definitely be like Linkin Park. Chester Bennington's like a big idol of mine. Fight Star as well. Like I've always been mad on Fight Star. I love Charlie Simpson. But I grew up listening to like all sorts of different types of music. Like so like my dad's really into like indie Brit, like in Oasis or
like the 90s
stuff like
90s.
Yeah, like, but like bands like Killers and stuff like that as well. Like, I really love them. And then my mum was always into like 80s, 80s rock, like, or metal, I don't know, Guns N' Roses, Metallica, stuff like that. But then I found like a big passion for acoustic music, like old folk acoustic music, like like Simon and Garfunkel, but also like the Eagles and Beatles and bands like that. So yeah, it's a big mixture. But I guess when I hit about 13, 14, like the emo phase took over, and it was just fun, MCR and Bullet and stuff like that. So yeah.
So then what sort of musicians, bands influenced the band sound?
So I think the poppy element of the Casket sound sort of comes from me, I guess. Like, love it. Like, I love pop music as well, to be fair. Benji's really into like a lot of 80s like synthwave and stuff like that, but he also loves like people like John Mayer and really good guitarists and stuff like that. Craig sort of loves everything, really. He loves country, but Chris also loves country as well. So I don't know. We just we wanted to like try and like blend loads of our influences into one sound, but we spent so long before we launched, like making sure that it wasn't too like jarring. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So yeah, and I think like since doing the album with Dan Weller, he's like added a lot more depth with, you know, more electronics like in certain songs and stuff like that. So the sound has definitely grown since the EP, which is good. So yeah.
So the album has been out for. It did come out on Friday.
Yeah, man.
So what's sort of the reception been so far? I know it's a bit early, but what sort of reception have you got from it so far?
It's been crazy, mate. Absolutely nuts. Like, I'm totally blown away. Like, I've still not finished going through like, you know, all the messages and stuff like that. Like, it's been proper nuts, mate. To be fair, like, it's weird. Like, you know, when like you're a kid, like, and like, you know, you absolutely love music, is everything to you, you know, and
Yeah.
like you think like you look at like that level is like so unobtainable. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and even like to me, like 4 years ago, that I was still there. Like that is so unobtainable. Like, and then it's happened so quick, and like now we're here. Like, and it's just nuts, dude. Do you know what I mean? Like absolutely crazy. So the reception has been like way beyond what I could have ever imagined it to have been, and it like, and we're still like, my phone's still going absolutely crazy, man. Like, even yeah, I've not looked at my phone for an hour, and I've got loads of messages. But yeah, it's absolutely like our fans are absolutely incredible, and like I said, like they've been with us, you know, through everything, like through the name change and stuff like that. I mean, we've been through quite a lot to say we're only like, you know, like 3.5 years old. But yeah, it's just amazing, mate. I struggle to put it into words. Like it's been crazy.
So was this album done during lockdown?
So to be fair, like the majority of the album was finished like before lockdown happened. Or we thought it was finished, and then lockdown happened, and our plan was to go to Germany to record the album. And then that obviously we couldn't do that, so that's why we decided to get Dan Weller, and we ended up recording the album in a shed on Chris's back garden, because we had everything there to record an album apart from doing drums at Vader. So yeah, it gave us like a good 2-3 more months to sit down with the songs and work on them more and go through things. And well, we sat down with Dad, and he went through all the songs with us, and he helped load with, like, you know, taking bits out that didn't need to be there and bringing bits in that we didn't bring back in. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that. So it was good for us, like musically, which is a weird thing to say, obviously, because it was such a, you know, rubbish situation. But yeah, it was. So when we like we got locked down the first time, and then when there was that little gap, that's when we went to Vader to do the drums. Then we got locked down again. Then we had another little gap. We all got together and did like two weeks or something in the shed. Got just about everything done, and then I think went into lockdown again. What did we finish? I can't remember. But yeah,
we've definitely had 3 lockdowns.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just it's been weird, man, because like the album should have been done ages and ages before it actually got finished. Do you know what I mean? Eventually. So it was a massive help towards working more on the music, to be fair, but it was pretty crap having to do it all like digitally, like Zoom sessions with everyone and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? All the time. But yeah, thankfully things are starting to get a bit better now, or fingers crossed they are anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So obviously COVID has impacted on the touring side of things. Did you have any like gigs lined up, or were you just gonna wait until the album was finished before?
Oh, what do you mean? You mean before COVID?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, we've had so many tours cancelled. So many. With this one with Normandy, this has been like the second. It's been rescheduled twice now. This one with Normandy. We had I'm sure we had some shows with Sleeps that got cancelled. We had a tour like the Plotting You that got cancelled. So yeah, it was pretty rubbish, man. To be fair, yeah, pretty gutting. It's sort of like when like the last few got cancelled, it sort of became the norm. Do you know what I mean? Like it was like, well, as if we weren't expecting that. To be fair, but you know, like I said, things are getting better now and gigs are starting to come back. So my fingers are crossed. It'll be like 2 years since we've played a show by the time we get on stage. So yeah, itching for it.
So Matt, thanks for taking the time out to have a chat with us.
No, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
And good luck with the rest of the album.
Cheers, dude. I appreciate it. Thank you, man. Hopefully it can go just as well as like the last few days have gone. Praying.
Cheers, Matt.
Thank you, dude. Have a good one.
You too.